All right, thank you everyone for coming. We're starting on our backs with a bolster under your knees. And this is Yoga with Justine. I teach mostly Viniyoga, but I incorporate a lot of other styles as well. So to begin with, just allow your body to sink into the support beneath you. And scan your body, just noticing if there's anywhere that feels a little tense, a little sore. And then I'm going to invite you to scan your body again and notice if there's anywhere that's feeling really good, and acknowledge that as well. Now begin to slowly and progressively start deepening your inhale. And as you're deepening the breath, notice if that comes easily, if it feels a little constricted. Does it feel like the breath is going into more one side or the other, more to the front of the lung than the back? Just checking in with your quality of breath. Is it smooth or choppy? And over these next few rounds of breathing, try to elongate the exhale so that it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 seconds longer than the inhale. And as you do that, notice if it's difficult to elongate the exhale. And if it is, start to notice your breathing style or pattern as you're in daily life. Because we want to have the exhale at least as long as the inhale, preferably a little longer, because it has a calming effect on the nervous system. And while we're laying here in stillness, we're going to practice using our core engagement with the breath so that it becomes more natural as we're moving through the poses. So as you inhale, you might notice that there's a sense of expansion. Allow that to happen, and then to initiate the exhale, gently draw up the pelvic floor, and then draw the belly in from the pubic bone to the belly button to the rib cage. As you inhale, soften the belly from the top down, and then relax the pelvic floor. And just continue with that style of breathing and that core engagement on the exhale. And practicing it now so that as we're moving through the poses, it's one of the major things that will keep your low back safe and stabilize the pelvic lumbar rhythm. As you started focusing on that core engagement, notice if it's caused jaw engagement or the shoulders are kind of creeping up towards the ears. Try to remain soft where you don't need to have effort. And feel free to add that ujjayi breath when and if you feel to. That yogic breathing with the slight constriction in the back of the throat. It's almost like you're fogging up a mirror, only the mouth remains closed. And if you're not sure what I mean by gently pulling up the pelvic floor, it's either like a Kegel where you're lifting the pelvic floor, or like you're peeing and you need to stop the flow of urine. Good. Now we're going to begin with some gentle movement linked to breath. And I have the bolster under your knees because for some people lying flat on your back is painful. And I used to be one of those people. So I'm always adamant about making sure you're comfortable. So bring your arms palm down by your sides, and we're going to start with the right arm. As you inhale, raise the right arm overhead towards the floor behind you, reaching through the fingertips. Sorry, Sheila. And then as you exhale, lower your arm as you turn your head away, pushing the right fingertips away from you to create space in your shoulder. We'll stay on that side, inhaling, raising the arm back up overhead towards the floor behind you. And then exhaling, lowering the arm as you turn your head left. Inhale, head comes back to center. Raise that right arm all the way overhead. Press through the left heel. And then exhale, relax the heel, lower the arm, turn the head left. This time we're going to raise the right arm and press through the right heel, reaching that right arm all the way overhead. Exhaling, lowering the arm, turning the head away. And then inhaling, raising the right arm overhead, pressing through the left heel, lengthening. Exhaling, lowering the arm, relaxing the leg, and turning the head away. Then bring your head back to center. Pause for a moment. Relax your shoulders. Allow your weight to sink into the floor. And just notice if you feel a difference between each side of your neck and each side of your shoulder girdle. And it might be subtle, but if you have a lot of neck tension, it might be more profound. And then we're going to take that to the other side, always remembering to stay within a comfortable range of motion for your shoulder. So as you inhale, raise the left arm overhead, reaching through the fingertips, lengthening. Exhale, lower the arm as you turn your head to the right. Inhale, head comes back to center, reach that left arm all the way overhead, lengthen. Exhale, lower the arm, turn the head to the right. Good. Inhale, head comes back to center. This time, press through the right heel as you raise that left arm overhead, lengthening. Exhaling, relaxing the leg, lowering the arm, turning the head away. Then inhaling, pressing through the left heel as you raise the left arm, lengthening. Exhale, lower the arm and turn the head away. Then one more time. Pressing through the right heel, raising the left arm overhead, lengthening. Exhaling, lowering the arm, relaxing the leg, and turning the head away. And then bring your head back to center. Pause there for a moment and just notice the effect from that. And then we'll start by warming up the musculature of the low back. So you can slide your bolster out of the way, bend one leg and then the other. And the safest way to work with the low back, if there's any low back conditions, is like we are, where we have the back completely supported on the floor. We're going to lift one leg up and then the other, placing one hand on each knee or behind each knee, whatever's more comfortable for you. Tuck the chin so the neck stays long. As you inhale, keep the knees and arms length away. Then as you exhale, draw up the pelvic floor, draw the belly in and up as you draw both knees into the chest. Inhaling, knees move away, belly softens. Exhaling, abs in as you draw up the pelvic floor, draw the belly in and draw the knees into the chest. Inhaling, knees move away, belly softens. Exhale, abs in as you draw the knees into the chest. Do that a few more times at your own pace, challenging yourself to slow down the movement and the breath. This is one of the best ones for stretching the musculature of the low back, but then it also helps imbibe the lumbar discs with fluid because we're gently pulling the vertebra apart as the knees come into the chest. And then as you inhale, the vertebrae are going back into their original position. On your next exhale, hug the knees in, hold them in. And then notice here if your shoulders are creeping up towards your ears. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed and let the arms do the work. Set one foot down and then the other. Come to lie flat on your back unless you know that will hurt you. And then you can just keep your knees bent for a moment. We're just going to take a moment to take a mental snapshot of how our low back feels. And then once you have your mental snapshot, bend one leg and then the other. Open the knees to the outside with the soles of the feet together. And then to stabilize the lumbar spine, here you might notice that my low back is rounding a little bit. We're going to bring the pubic bone towards the belly button. That stabilizes the lumbar spine and lengthens it. Press the soles of the feet together gently. That'll help strengthen the musculature around the SI joint. Keep that gentle pressure. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to slowly bring the knees halfway together. And then pause at the halfway point. Keep breathing. And your legs might shake. That's normal. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, slowly bring the knees the rest of the way together. As the knees come up, eventually you'll roll onto the soles of the feet. This one is very good for increasing circulation to the low back. It also strengthens the adductors, the inner thighs, so that's good for the knees. And it's good for keeping your reproductive organs healthy as we age. Open the knees again, soles of the feet together, pubic bone slightly towards belly button. Now we're going to press the soles of the feet together. This time lift the pelvis up just a few inches in the air. Try to make sure your shoulders aren't engaged, you're not making fists, and you're not clenching your teeth. If you get any pain doing this, bring the pelvis back down. You'll still get benefit by pressing the soles of the feet together. And then I love teaching yoga because you get to say this sentence. Set your pelvis back down. I don't know where else you might hear that. And then from here, if you don't have low back pain, allow the natural curve in the lumbar spine, so you don't have to keep the pubic bone towards the belly button. If you are having active low back pain, keep the pubic bone towards the belly button. That'll keep the lumbar spine stable. This time we're going to come together in thirds. Take a deep inhale. Exhale very slowly as you come 1/3 of the way together. So you're barely moving. Take another deep inhale. Exhale very slowly, come to 2/3. Another deep inhale. Exhale, slowly coming the rest of the way together, eventually rolling onto the soles of your feet. And we're going to do that one more time, slowing it down even more. So opening the knees again, soles of the feet together. First, we're just going to try and relax the pelvis. So if your low back is sore, you can still keep the pubic bone towards the belly button. Otherwise, allow the low back to have its natural rounding. And breathe as though your lungs are down in your groin, as though. And with each exhale, see if you can allow the hips to soften a little bit more. And then we'll come together in quarters. Take a deep inhale. Exhale very slowly, coming 1/4 of the way together. Another deep inhale. Exhaling very slowly to 1/2. Another deep inhale. Exhaling to 3/4. Now last one, go as slow as you can. Deep inhale. Exhale very slowly, coming the rest of the way together. Eventually rolling onto the soles of the feet. And then try lying flat on your back again. And just see if that made a difference in how your low back feels. This one I'll never forget because it was after doing this pose that I was able to lie flat on my back for the first time in years with no pain. Then when you're ready, keep the left leg extended and we're going to draw that right knee up into the chest. If your low back is sore, you could place that left foot flat on the floor. That'll stabilize the pelvis a little more. Otherwise, if the left leg is extended, keep it active as though you're standing on it. Try to soften the shoulders. Maybe rotate that right ankle a few times. We got a little bit of crunchy today. And then reverse that. And then since we have some people in class today having tension in their hips, we're going to do some hip circles to get some circulation into the musculature around the hip. This is also really good for getting synovial into the hip socket itself. Synovial fluid. So release your hold on that leg. Keep the abs engaged to protect your low back. And you're going to start by doing slow circles with that right knee. And it could be that you stay flat on your back, especially if you have low back issues or you're in pain today. It could be that you allow yourself to roll over like you're going into a twist and then roll back out to the side. And it's more like you're getting to know your hip joint. It's not about speed or range of motion. It's about an exploration. And when you're ready, reverse that direction. And then I'm not accusing you, but notice if your jaw is clenched. Then we're going to bring that right knee into the chest again. Extend the heel up towards the ceiling. Point and flex your ankle as you lower that leg to the ground, keeping your abs engaged. And then pause there for a moment. You might feel like that right leg is a little longer now. Good. Then when you're ready, we're going to bring the left knee into the chest. And one side might be totally different, so be nice to yourself. Maybe you're keeping that right leg extended. Maybe you're keeping the foot flat on the floor to stabilize your pelvis. Rotate the left ankle a few times. Our left ankles must be younger than our right ankles. They're not squawking as much. Reverse that direction. Then release your hold on that knee. Keep the abs engaged. This side might be totally different. You're going to start with that slow circle. Maybe keep it in that small range of motion. Maybe allow yourself to go like you're going into a twist, and then all the way back out to the side. Generally speaking, if someone has tight hips, you can almost assume they have low back pain because it's also connected. When you're ready, reverse the direction of your circle. And draw that left knee into the chest. Extend the heel up towards the ceiling. Point and flex your ankle as you lower that leg to the ground. Keeping your abs engaged will help protect your back. And then pause here for a moment, hopefully feeling equally long in both legs. Then when you're ready, bend one leg, then the other. Hug the knees into the chest just to be kind to your low back. Then we'll finish up on our backs here with rolling bridge. So I'm going to invite you to place a block between your thighs. What that does is help strengthen the adductors. The adductors are the inner thighs, and they're technically part of our core, helping to pull everything to the midline. So we want to keep them strong for that reason and because it helps with the tracking of the knees. The block will also help to keep your knees in alignment. And we're going to move both directions on exhale. We'll come down on 2 exhales so we can really hollow out the belly and articulate the movement of the spine. For this, for today, we'll just keep the arms out of the equation and not add any arm modifications. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, engage the abs. Start to peel the tailbone up. Peel the low back up. Maybe you peel all the way up to the shoulders. Keep your nose pointed at the ceiling. Take an inhale at the top. And then as you exhale, you're going to roll the spine halfway down. Sorry, I just turned my head, and you shouldn't do that when you're doing this pose. Inhale again. Exhale, pull the belly in. Try to set one vertebra at a time down. Relax completely at the bottom. Take an inhale. Exhale, engage the abs. You're going to press into the feet, peel the tailbone up, peel the low back up. Maybe you peel all the way up to the shoulders. Maybe not. If it hurts to go that high, don't go that high. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll the spine back down halfway. And then pause. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll the spine the rest of the way down. And pause. I'm going to have you repeat that 2 more times. Take an inhale. As you exhale, peel the spine back up, 1 vertebra at a time. I'm just going to sit up and watch your alignment. Inhale at the top to stay. Exhale, roll the spine halfway down. Pause there, make sure your jaw is relaxed. Take another inhale. Exhale, roll the rest of the way down. We'll do 3 more repetitions. Inhaling to stay. Exhale, peel back up. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, roll halfway down. Pause, take an inhale. Exhale, roll the rest of the way down. And do 2 more at your own pace. This pose is really good for strengthening the core front and back, especially when we're moving on exhale so we can really pull the belly in. It also helps strengthen the musculature around the SI joint, that little spot in your low back where some people have dimples. It's where the spine connects to the hip. And unfortunately, a lot of yogis have unstable SI joints just from the sheer nature of asymmetrical poses and leveraging in yoga. So we're here to change that. The other thing I find useful about this pose, because you're moving slowly, linking breath to movement, it can help slow development of osteoarthritis and sometimes even resorb some of the osteoarthritis in the lumbar spine. Go ahead and finish the round that you're on, taking your time. Set the block to one side. And then hug the knees into your chest. When in doubt, hug the knees into your chest. Just kind of resets the low back and brings the spine back to neutral. From here, slowly roll to your side or rock forward and back. We're going to make our way over to all fours. And if kneeling is not comfortable, you could place a blanket under your knees, or you can do a modified version of cat-cow where you exhale, pull the belly in, and then inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the chest. If you're on all fours, you're going to have the knees hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. Spread the fingers wide so that the whole hand is taking the weight, not just the wrist. Start here with a flat back, pulling the belly button to the spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, drop the chin, round the low back, release the elbows to the floor, and then the hips towards the heels, letting your neck relax at the bottom. Then inhaling, you're drawing back on the palms so you can draw forward and point the middle of the chest more forward than down. Exhaling, abs in as you round the low back, drop the chin, release the elbows to the floor, and then the hips towards the heels. Notice that you don't want to keep tension in the neck, let the head hang. Then as you inhale, draw back again, maybe squeezing the shoulder blades together. And as you exhale and round, try to draw the shoulder blades away from the spine, getting a little bit more movement in the shoulder girdle. And just continue moving at your own pace. This is one of the best poses for overall spinal health. We're imbibing all the spinal discs with fluid as well as increasing circulation to the musculature around the spine. And then it also is working the cerebrospinal fluid. So hopefully it will help with the migraines one of us is having. When you're ready, come to lie on your tummy. And then to stabilize the low back, press the pubic bone slightly into the floor. You could have your hands under your shoulders. I tend to cheat and push myself up, so I'm going to bring my arms back, palm down by my side with the thumbs out. We'll start with a gentle prone back bend, lifting one leg at a time, along with head, neck, and shoulders. And I'm going to add in some cueing for the shoulder girdle. Exhale completely. As you inhale, lift up head, neck, and shoulders. Both arms, if they're extended, draw the low shoulder blades together and lift the right leg. Exhaling, coming down, maybe turning your head if that's okay on your neck. Inhaling, coming up with the left leg, lifting head, neck, and shoulders, drawing the low shoulder blades together, keeping the neck long. Exhaling, coming down, alternating which way you're turning your head if that's okay on your neck. Inhaling, coming up with the right leg, head, neck, and shoulders. Draw the low shoulder blades together. Stay here as you exhale. See if you can feel your stomach engage against the floor. Inhale, get longer and higher. Exhale, come down. Inhaling, coming up with the left leg, head, neck, and shoulders. Staying here as you exhale. Inhale, get longer and higher. Exhale, come down. Now we're going to come up and stay up. I'm going to invite you to come up with both legs, inhaling to come up. And then there's a tendency in this pose to point the chin forward, but hear what that does to my voice. You want to keep the chin tucked so the neck is long. And we'll just be here for about 20 minutes. Just kidding. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, come down. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Engage your abs to help protect your back. You're going to press up to all fours. And we want to counter that back bend with a forward bend. So we'll do child's pose. You have the option to keep the knees hip width. I like to take my knees wide with the toes touching so that my torso can come between my thighs and then I can breathe. So maybe you have your arms extended if that feels good, but for some people that might annoy the shoulders, in which case you can make a shelf with your arms for your forehead to rest on, or it might feel better to bring the arms back by your sides. So now that you've been here a little bit, take a moment to scan your body. We all tend to hold tension, but maybe not always in the same place. For me, in this pose, I have to really focus on relaxing my legs. I tend to hold tension around my right knee from an injury that I don't need to do that with anymore. And then with your mind's eye, bring your attention to your sacrum at the base of your spine. And from there, you're going to walk your mental attention up through the low back. See if you feel any tension there. Notice as you move through the mid and upper back if you can soften or release tension there. Try to relax your jaw and your neck. And when you're ready, with an inhale, you're going to make your way up to all fours. And we're going to make our way to standing. So what I'd invite you to do is tuck the toes under, walk the hands back, and you're going to press up into a standing forward bend. Keep the knees bent a lot so that the stretch goes more into the musculature of your low back and less into your hamstrings. Maybe grab your elbows and hang here. Maybe do a full head roll since there's no weight on your neck. Just come all the way to standing. Yeah, good. Make sure your abs are engaged. And then we're going to make our way up, strengthening our spine. So bring one hand to each hip. Draw the shoulder blades together. And as you inhale, lift the chest away from the belly and come up with a long spine. Hands on your hips if you're dizzier than normal. That'll just help stabilize your blood pressure. Everyone okay? Okay. How are you doing? Okay, good. Any pressure? Okay. Okay, we're going to get into the side body. And generally speaking, if you have low back pain, there's a big muscle here and here on both sides called the quadratus lumborum, that when it gets tight, it pulls everything together, or it can get tight on one side and kind of get us out of alignment. So we're going to do a lateral bend to get that. But what you want to do is avoid any twisting, because that will let the muscle get off the hook and you won't stretch it. Take a look at your feet. You want to have them hip width and parallel. I always teach hip width and parallel because it's better for the knees and the low back. You're also welcome to have them together, but I just like to tell you what I prefer. Belly in, tailbone dropping. Draw the shoulders down and back and lift the chest. Then from here, I'm going to give you different options since some of us have shoulder issues. We could inhale, bring the hands here. We could bring the hands to the head. We could raise the arms overhead, where you're lifting them up, either shoulder width apart or steeple mudra. So inhale, raise your arms to whatever degree you would like. Draw the shoulders down and back. If the arms are extended, squeeze the arms close to the ears. Then lift the shoulders way up. Notice how that would get old really quick. You're going to tuck them back down. Inhale, lift both sides of the ribs. And as you exhale, pull the belly in as you tilt right. Then inhale, let the breath help you up. Exhale, belly in, tilt left. Inhaling to come up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Now we're going to inhale up. This time we're going to exhale and come over and stay. So you're exhaling over to the right. I like to release my right arm down and relax it. And then if the left arm is extended, really engage the muscles. So you're not just kind of flopping your arm up there, you're really engaging, reaching through the fingertips. You also have the option to place the hand on the back of the head and use that to help open the elbow towards the ceiling. The repetition of the poses gets circulation into the muscles, and then it's during the stay when we really affect the change from the stretch, allowing the fascia and the muscle to stretch. If you find your breath getting short or you're having low back pain, back out a little. And if you're having low back pain, imagine there's a little sinker weight on your tailbone, tucking the tailbone down just slightly. Now reach that top arm up, maybe look up, open and close your fist a few times. And then imagine there's a rope there. You're going to grab the rope and with an inhale, pull yourself up. Relax your arms, roll the shoulders a few times. And then pause here for a moment. Take a deep breath and just see if you feel kind of lopsided. Then we're going to even that out, hopefully. So draw the shoulders down and back. Inhale, raise your arms to whatever level you would like. And then exhale, tilt to your left. Maybe releasing that left arm down for support. Maybe really reaching through the fingertips. Maybe using that top hand behind your head to open the elbow towards the ceiling. And notice if one side is wildly different. Suppose you find your right side is a lot tighter. You would want to stretch the right, stretch the left, come back and stretch the right again, so you're working towards symmetry. And again, I'm not accusing you, but notice if you're clenching your teeth. And we're going to reach that top arm up, try to touch the ceiling. Open and close your fist a few times. And then imagine that rope, you're going to grab it and with an inhale, pull yourself up. Okay, roll the shoulders. So we want to go back to a forward bend to bring the spine back to neutral. So what you can do is either slide your hands down the back of your legs. If you're feeling a little stronger, you could have the arms out to the sides. If you don't have low back or shoulder issues, you could have your arms by your ears, but it puts a huge load on the low back, especially the fulcrum is from my hip bone to the end of my fingers. So that's going to put a lot of weight on my back. If you do that version, you don't want to drag. You want to keep the arms along the ears and come up with that long spine. So choose your, I'm going to use my hands sliding down the back of the legs. Choose if you want them there or by your side. Inhale tall. Exhale, you're pulling the belly in from the bottom up as you slide down into that forward bend. Bend the knees a lot here and let the musculature of the low back take more of the stretch than the hamstrings. If you have a healthy low back, you could work towards straightening the legs, but not if it causes the pelvis to round backwards, because then that's going to put undue strain on the lumbar discs as well as the vertebral bodies. And we're going to come up strengthening again, so bringing one hand to each hip, draw the shoulder blades together, and as you inhale, lift the chest away from the belly and come up with that long spine. Okay. All right, now we're going to grow taller. Just what I need. So think of this as defying gravity. Gravity is a good thing, but it also kind of pulls everything, I'm learning this more and more with each year, closer to the ground. So that includes it can compress our joints. So we're going to imagine there's a string coming out the top of our head, and it's creating space between every bone in our body, especially the vertebral bodies. This one also forces circulation to the feet and strengthens the ankles, so it's good for the knees. And it's good to do if you're traveling a lot because it helps prevent blood clots. Having the feet hip width apart, you always have an option to have a hand on the wall, and it's going to look like this. As you inhale, you're going to press into the big toe mound, come up, heels can come up a little or a lot, continue to expand the chest at the top, and then as you exhale, you're coming down nice and slow, trying to land your heels in the hands at the same time as yourself. Okay, exhale completely. Inhale, raise the heels in the hands. Heels can come up a little or a lot. Exhale, come down nice and slow, landing your heels and hands at the same time as yourself. Good. Inhaling, coming up, belly in, heart lifted. Exhaling, coming down. Beautiful. Inhaling to come up. Now we're going to work our brains. As we exhale, bring the right hand and heels halfway down. And our sense of humor. Inhale, hand and heels come back up. Exhale, left hand and heels come halfway down. Inhale, left hand and heels come back up. Exhale, everything comes down. And then inhale, everything comes up. And we're going to stay up for a few breaths. You could keep the arms shoulder width. You could interlace the fingers and press the palms towards the ceiling. Good. Each inhale, think of axial extension, lengthening the whole skeleton. Each exhale, think of pulling the belly in and stabilizing. One more deep inhale, and as you exhale, come down. That one still burns my calves. Shake out your ankles. Okay. Good. All right. And we're going to make our way back down to the floor. So we'll take a big inhale, reach out and up. Go ahead. Exhale, abs in as you come into that forward bend. Inhale, come up halfway. Draw the shoulder blades together. Pull the belly button to the spine. You want to create space between the sternum and the belly button. And it should look like I could serve tea on your back. One day I'm going to actually come in and serve tea. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, bow forward. Use your hands for support. Make your way back down to all fours. Pause there for a moment. Give your blood pressure a chance to catch up. And then slowly make your way to seated. And I'm a big fan of props. And part of it is I have the best posture of what not to do. This is like the worst thing for your low back, and I have low back problems. And this, for me, when I started yoga, was torture. So using a prop, trying not to moon you, sitting up on a blanket, a wedge, I like to make a little throne where I kind of fold the back blanket under. Here, I'm totally effortless sitting up straight. At a certain point, my legs will fall asleep, but that's okay. But this makes it much easier so that it's healthier for the back. So never be shy about using props. I've had people say that teachers have shamed them for using props, and it just, yoga's here to serve us, not the reverse. Okay. We're going to do my magic trick since we have some neck tension going on and because it's my favorite thing ever. So you're going to sit up tall and then look over your right shoulder and mark a point on the wall that's as far as you can see. Then look forward, take your right hand, you're going to pull the right thumb and wiggle it around. What this is doing is targeting both ends of the fascia. And don't break your thumb. Okay. Then we're going to take, and you can be a bit firm with this. Rub your right ear, rub the cartilage, kind of tug it around. Okay. Then sit up tall. Feel free to ooh and ah. Look over that shoulder again and see if you can see further. Ooh, ah, yay. How did that feel? I'm hoping it will. I do this multiple times a day and it works every time.
The first time I did it, it pulled my knee, just like it's all.
Yeah. Yeah. They can start cutting on a cadaver, cutting fascia here and stay on one continual piece up to here. It's amazing, and they're learning more and more about it now. They used to not even teach it in medical school because nobody really knew what was going on. Okay, feel the freedom on that right side. Okay, we're going to take that to the other side. So look over the left shoulder. Notice how far you can see and mark a point on the wall. And then you'll look forward, take the left hand, and you're going to wiggle that left thumb within reason. If for some reason it hurts your hand, your finger, you could grab the wrist and kind of wiggle the wrist around, or even the fingers. We just want to get the end of the fascia netting. And then we're going to do that same with the other ear. So grabbing the left ear, rubbing it, tugging it around. And given that the fascia is constantly kind of shrinking, we need to constantly lengthen it. And I personally think that's one of the reasons yoga is the fountain of youth, because it kind of keeps restructuring the fascia. Okay, sit up tall again. Look again and notice if you can spin your head around like the exorcist. Yay. Good.
It doesn't go all the way around.
I know, that's good. Then we'd have to call 911. Okay, sit up nice and tall. We're going to do some twists, and if you're doing a twist like this using the strength of your core, it's very difficult to hurt yourself. As soon as you add leverage of an arm, very easy to hurt yourself. And I actually dislocated my SI joint doing this. I don't do it anymore, but where you hook the elbow around and it was my own fault. I just kept thinking, and it didn't happen right then. I got up, went to dinner, came back and lifted this really heavy piece of paper and bent over to hand it to someone, and it just went thunk. So always being mindful to use your core strength and not leverage. The other thing about twists, if we're twisting like this and we're kind of have a king toes, that's doing a lot to the discs and the nerves where they're exiting the spinal canal. So we always want that length first. Draw the shoulders down and back, and then lengthen the back of the neck by slightly tucking the chin. You have the option to just keep your hands here if your shoulders are sore. You could keep your hands on your shoulders, or you could come up like cactus. If you come up like a cactus, try to keep the upper arm parallel to the floor and draw the shoulder blades together so you're strengthening the rhomboids. Inhale tall. Exhale, pull the belly in from the ground up as you turn to the right. Then inhale back to center, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, belly in, twist to the left. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, belly in, twist right. Inhale to center, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist left. Inhaling back to center. Now we're going to exhale, pull the belly in, twist right, and stay here. We're going to let the arms come down. Right hand can come down behind you to help elongate the spine. The left hand is more of a decoration, and it can decorate either leg. Each inhale, lengthen the spine. Each exhale, start with that pelvic floor lift and pull the belly in from the ground up. And you're looking over that shoulder behind you just as far as is comfortable. Twists are kind of like flossing the spine, cleaning out between each vertebra and getting rid of any debris. Now we're going to floss our neck, and the important part is really lengthening through the crown of the head. So inhale tall. Exhale, turn your chin over the left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen through the crown as you twist your head back to the right. Exhaling, turning left. Inhaling right. And now exhaling left, and we're going to pause there. So each inhale, you're lengthening through the crown of the head. Each exhale, shoulders go right, head goes left, within reason. Notice if you're elevating the shoulders at all. It's so subtle and ingrained in our mind, we do it and we don't even realize it. When I say we, I mean me. Especially my right one. Now slowly come back to center. Pause here for a moment and take a deep breath. And I love doing this after twists because you can feel those little intrinsic muscles kind of deep in the spine. It's like the right side of my spine feels a little more puffed up. Can you guys feel that? Okay, should we do the other side? Okay. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, pull the belly in, twist to the left. This time the right hand will decorate either leg. Left hand comes behind you. Use that to help elongate the spine. And look over that shoulder behind you, just as far as is comfortable. Each inhale, lengthening. Each exhale, pulling up the pelvic floor and pulling the belly in and up. And then I just caught myself, so notice if you're clenching your teeth. And don't. Now with an inhale, sit a little taller. Exhale, turn your head to the right. Inhaling to the left, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhaling to the right. Inhaling to the left. Exhaling to the right, and we're going to pause there. Each inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Each exhale, shoulders go left, head goes right. And then with an inhale, come back to center. It might feel good to do a little stretch the other way. Maybe roll the shoulders and even undulate the spine a little bit. I just wanted to say undulate. Okay. I'm going to wait for the groan. Have your strap handy. And we're going to come onto our backs and do some stuff to work the muscles of the legs and the hips. So taking your time, come on to your back. And hug the knees into the chest just so that it's said that I'm a nice person, because this feels good. Set the left foot flat on the floor. Take the strap and you're going to place it just below the ball of the right foot. And we're going to try to trick the hamstrings a little bit. So you're going to inhale, extend, take the leg as far away as you need to extend it straight. And then as you exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, extend it, pressing up strongly through the heel. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Now we're going to pause there. Pressing up through the heel will engage the quadriceps in the front of the leg, which in theory will allow the hamstrings to open. From here, keep the legs straight. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, draw the leg towards you just as far as you can, comfortably keeping the leg straight. Inhale, back out. Exhale, draw it towards you. Inhale, back out. Exhale, hook it behind your ear. Just kidding. Draw it towards you just as far as is comfortable. And then you have options here. You could keep the left leg extended, especially if you're, the left leg bent, especially if you're having low back pain, because that'll stabilize the pelvis. Or you could extend that left leg along the ground, keeping it active as though you're standing on it. To get into the hip a little bit, we're going to do little, like 3-inch diameter circles on the ceiling with our heel. And that should affect where you're feeling the stretch in the back of your leg, or change where it hurts. From here, keep the leg towards you. Place both ends of the strap in the left hand. We're going to take the right thumb, push it into the hip crease like you're trying to push your hip out of the socket, but not quite that hard. Keep the hip pushing away, draw the leg towards you. Keep the back flat, and you're going to take the heel 6 to 8 inches to the left. Nobody's groaning today because we have the camera on. Now this is kind of subtle. Imagine my finger is on your big toe mound, and you're just going to slightly push into my finger. And that should make it hurt. Stretch more deeply. Notice if your shoulders are relaxed or they're kind of glued to your ears. Try to keep them relaxed. With an inhale, bring the leg back up. Place both ends of the strap in the right hand. And then you could take that left arm out to the side as a bit of a counterweight. Ground down through the back of the left leg unless that left leg is bent, and then you could let the left knee fold out to the left a little. And you're going to slowly open that right leg out to the right. You keep pressing the back of that left hip down, but gravity kind of won't let us keep it totally solid. Press out through the heel and breathe into as though your lung is wherever you're feeling that stretch. Engage your abs, and with an inhale, bring that leg back up. Release the strap, and slowly point and flex that ankle as you lower the leg to the ground, keeping your abs engaged to protect your back. And now you might really feel a difference between each leg. Good. And we're going to take that to the other side. Feel free to start with both legs bent. Take the strap just below the ball of the left foot. Extend the left heel towards the ceiling. And then from here, we're going to try and trick the hamstring, get some circulation into it. So you'll inhale, press up through the heel, take the leg as far away as you need to get it straight. And then exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, heel goes up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, heel goes up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, heel goes up. Now press up through the heel. Keep the leg as far away as you need to get it somewhat straight. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, draw the leg towards you, keeping it straight, so it might just be a centimeter. Inhale, back out. Exhale, draw it towards you. Inhale, back out. Exhale, draw it towards you. And we're going to pause there, pressing up through the heel. Maybe keeping the right leg bent, maybe extending that right leg as though you're standing on it. And then from here, you're going to draw those little 3-inch diameter circles on the ceiling with your heel. That just kind of shows you where the tension is hiding, because it has a good hiding strategy, I think. Then draw the leg towards you. Take both ends of the strap, and you're going to place it in the right hand. Take the left thumb, and you're going to press into that left hip crease as though you're trying to push the leg out of the socket. Keep it towards you. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, move that left heel 6 to 8 inches to the right. And then imagine, and I'm going to apologize now, but imagine I have my thumb on your big toe mound, and you're slightly pushing your big toe mound into my hand or thumb. This one tends to be tight on just about everyone, especially if you walk, breathe, or bicycle. And it's the iliotibial band that we're stretching, unless your hamstrings are so tight it's still staying back there and you have the IT band to look forward to. But it keeps stability laterally in our hips, but it's a wide band of fascia, so it's pretty much always tight. Hopefully that distracted you from the searing pain in your outer hip. We're going to inhale, bring that leg back up. Place both ends of the strap in the left hand. Press down through the back of the right leg if it's extended, or you can let that right knee lean a little bit out to the right. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, open that left leg out to the left. Maybe reaching the right arm out to the right as a counterweight. Pressing out through the heel, drawing the toes towards your face, and breathing as though your lung is in the tight spot of that leg. I've worked with people before who can only get about halfway down on one side and can get most of the way down on the other side. If that's the case, you only want to go halfway down on each side and then open up as the tighter leg gets more open. Otherwise, you're going to be embedding and ingraining imbalance into the legs. And we all have asymmetry from one side to the other. See if you can soften the skin on your face. Engage your abs, and with an inhale, bring that leg back up to center. Release the strap. Keep the abs engaged, and you're going to slowly point and flex the ankle as you lower that leg to the ground. Oh, that one's time consuming, but you can feel the freedom almost immediately. And then we'll finish up with reverse pigeon. When you're ready, bend one leg and then the other. Take the right ankle, place it on the left thigh. It's important to keep the ankle flexed in dorsiflexion, drawing the toes towards the front of the calf. That will help activate the muscles that protect the knee. This might be enough of a stretch for you. It might feel better if you lifted and put your foot just on a bolster. Or you might take an inhale, and as you exhale, engage the abs, lift that left knee up to your chest. Reach between the legs with the right hand, and you're going to hold behind the thigh or in front of the shin of the left leg. If you have knee pain, holding in front of the shin can do too much compression on the knee, so always feel free to hold behind the thigh. From here, pushing that right knee away with the strength of the hip muscles will increase the stretch. And then to fine-tune the stretch, we're going to keep the left knee up towards us, move it about 3 inches to the left, and from there, imagine you're drawing either little circles or little figure eights on the ceiling with your left knee. And what that will do is explore the outer right hip. And if you find an area that's like, whoa, that's tight, pause there and really breathe into it. In this pose, it can be really difficult to soften the shoulders. So try to keep them relaxed. And the other option is always turning and placing a foot on a couch or a wall if you're doing this at home, so that the shoulders are out of the equation. Pressing the tailbone down will deepen the stretch because the piriformis, which is the main muscle we're going after here, originates on the front of the sacrum. And this is one of the best poses for releasing the piriformis if there's tension in it causing sciatic pain down the leg, because the sciatic nerve runs adjacent, if you're lucky, to that muscle. Sometimes it runs through the muscle. Set the left foot down, and then the right. And just pause for a moment to feel how much difference there is between the outer right cheek and the outer left cheek, the southern cheek. When you're ready, we're going to take the other ankle, sometimes known as the left, onto the right thigh. This side might be totally different, so be respectful to yourself. Take an inhale. As you exhale, engage the abs, lift the leg up. Maybe you're setting it on a prop. Maybe you're lifting it up towards your chest and holding behind the right thigh or in front of the right shin. Perfect, Louise. Good. Try to soften the shoulders. Maybe press the tailbone down. And then you could move that right knee a few inches to the right. I don't even like me right now. And then you could start to do that gentle movement, either circles or figure eights, exploring that outer left hip. If you're doing this pose and you ever get knee pain, you could take some of the tension off the knee by crossing your leg completely over like you're wearing a skirt, and then lifting up and holding behind the thighs. That takes some of the lateral pressure off the knee, and you're still getting the outer hip stretch. See if you can soften around the shoulders, soften the skin on your face. And I like to imagine that my lung is sitting in that left hip or wherever you're stretching. And even though it's imaginary, you can almost feel the expansion on the inhale. Make sure your breathing is still steady and slow. If you find that your breathing kind of shuts off, you might be too deep in the pose. So back out a little so you can keep that slow, steady flow of breath. When you're ready, set the right foot down, then the left. And when in doubt, hug both knees into the chest. And maybe rock from side to side or forward and back. And we're going to prepare for Shavasana. Shava means corpse. So Shavasana translates as corpse pose, but we're not really corpses. So you want to be comfortable. You could have a bolster under the knees that softens the low back, take some of the arch out. You could do legs up the wall. You could have a bit of a heart opener lying back on a bolster. The main thing is you want to be comfy. Always feel free to finish up with any other movement your body might crave. Do you want a sandbag, Sheila? Okay. So take your time getting set up. This, quite honestly, is the most important pose in yoga. I'm going to bring some props down to those of you who like sandbags. So take a moment allowing your body to settle into the support beneath it. Take a final moment to scan your body. Just seeing if you're holding any residual tension. Feel where your body's touching support. And allow yourself to sink into it, almost like you're sinking into a cloud. Allow your entire scalp to relax. Soften the muscles on the forehead. No tension around the eyes or the temple. Right jaw soft. Left jaw soft. Tongue lax in your mouth. All four sides of the inside of your throat are completely smooth. Bringing your attention down both arms to the palm of each hand. And just noting your hands as radiant sensation. All your effort is done. These next minutes are a gift to yourself to let the outside world drift away and allow the magic of yoga to happen. Atma Hridaye Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Ananda. Gently begin to take the breath a little deeper. Slowly bringing your attention back to this room, back to this time and place, in case you wandered off. You can start to bring life back to the body, wiggling the fingers and toes. Right here. Maybe drawing the knees into the chest. And then moving with a reverence for your body, gently rolling off to one side and curling up in the fetal position. Moving from the corpse pose back to the birth pose, symbolizing a new beginning. And with the gentleness you would lift a brand new baby, help to lift your brand new self back to a seated position. Maybe keeping the eyes closed if that feels comfortable. Staying inside for just another moment. And you might even take this opportunity to notice how your body feels, how your mind feels, compared to when we first began. Allow an inhale to bring your hands palm to palm at your heart and gently bow to yourself. Honor your beautiful body. Honor the effort of your practice. And honor the light inside each one of us. Thank you all for your beautiful presence. Namaste. Thanks for playing.